Welcome to the UGA Scoop. I'm your host, Philip Dukes, aka DukeTheScoop. Check me out on Twitter and Instagram at DukeTheScoop. And make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. We do a lot of Georgia stuff here. We do Auburn. We do Colorado. Get into a little Falcons and Hawks, Braves, but right now we're focused on college football, and my three main teams where I've got connections are UGA, Auburn, and Colorado. So we're gonna ride out there. But listen, you're midway through spring practice at Georgia. G-Day is approaching, and the feeling around, I think the program is that in order to play at a national championship level, you have to get back to the national championship play in the trenches. When it comes to spring ball, I think you're good enough everywhere so far during the spring. I think at quarterback, Gunnar Stockton is good enough. At wide receiver, I think there's some things that you maybe you don't have a top 5 receiver room, but you've got enough when you think about having you got speed, you got you got agile, you got agility, excuse me. You got enough when you talk about high end guys. I mean, Kobe Young is back, Dylan Bell, really just performing, and Zach Branch. You still got Sokovie White, still got London Humphreys. I mean, London is super fast, so you got a little bit of everything. So I think the wide receiver room is good. On one note, last week I did hear that they were doing drills and one-on-ones, and Zach Branch showed some real physicality. There was one play in particular where I believe it was board drills, and Branch pretty much got the attention of everybody in practice. He flattened the guy in board drills. So shout out to Branch showing some physicality, because everybody just thinks he's a receiver that just has to play in space, but he's going to block and he's going to show some physicality this year, and I think he's earning the respect of his teammates. So shout out to Zach Branch. But as well, you look at the tight end room, loaded again. I mean, when you look at the returning guys, you knew that Lawson Lucky and Oscar Delp were going to be the front end guys, and you hear about the young guys, the Elias Williams and Ethan Barbour. But everybody forgets about Jaden Riddell, man. And when I talk to the guys on the team, the guys that got to cover this guy, that's who's freak. That he's the one that you say when in a passing situation, he gives you the best ability to win a one-on-one matchup versus a linebacker or a safety. So Riddell is somebody that I continue to think is going to show up this year and that you'll see a lot from. But offensively, you feel like from quarterback, running back room, man, it doesn't matter what site you go to, don't matter what insider. It can be On 3, it could be 24/7, it could be Dog Nation, it could be Brooks Austin. It don't matter. Anybody who talks about Georgia knows that the running back that has turned the most heads this year this spring has been Bo Walker. I'm so happy for Bo. Bo was like the forgotten man. Got displaced senior year, was supposed to Cedar Grove at Cedar Grove, they have a coaching change. He's supposed to go to Stockbridge, gets ruled ineligible, has to go to Raven Gap, I believe. Never rose up the rankings to 24/7 or the On 3s. He never reached like that 4.5, 5-star status. Just a solid 3-star running back. Some people thought he was undersized, too little. Not a Georgia running back. Did not matter. Georgia never wavered. That commitment stood strong. I mean, there was even talk of people, in the industry that thought that Georgia was going to drop this guy. And they never did. And he is repaying them in spades. Bo Walker has been the talk of camp. And if I were to talk about anybody who probably had the most eye-opening spring, will probably be Bo Walker. So shout out to him. But when you look at that running back room, you feel good about it. You feel good about Nate Frazier returning. I remember last year, they said Nate Frazier took one the distance like every other practice. It was like he always breaks a big one. So I think as you see him become that running back 1A, I think you still got to consider Cash Jones in the mix, who's going to be a great pass protector and pass catcher. But I think about the Robinsons. Both of those guys are out. And you can't put too much in the spring too, because you don't have the full cachet guys, right? You don't have the full complement of Roderick or Branson Robinson. So But as of now, I think Bo Walker has taken a great advantage of his reps. So shout out to him. But so you feel good about the running back room. So we said quarterback room. You know what you got. I don't think Puglisi is quite ready yet. Stockton's going to be your number one guy. Wide receiver room. You know what you have there. You brought in somebody explosive who, Georgia loves to throw those tunnels and bubbles, as we always kind of talk and joke about. But he's somebody who can make it work. It's Zach Branch. So running back, tight end, wide receiver, quarterback, offensively, it's the trench play that worries you the most. So when you look at Ernest Green and coming back, which I thought was huge, and then you look at Bo Hughley, who's finally keeping that weight in that 305 range. They really want him to get into like that 310 to 315 range, but he's so athletic, it's hard to keep him off the field. So he's been taking a lot of first team reps, whether it be left tackle or right tackle. Nigel Daniels been doing a lot. He's been getting some reps. Jazir Jackson, the big 6'9", 6'10" guy, a former basketball player for Overtime Elite. He's gotten some first team reps. They've been rotating, trying to find that right mix. So don't be surprised to see guys moving around who you thought were going to be in different positions. Do not be surprised to see Juan Gaston at guard in G-Day. He's been playing some right tackle and some guard. So Juan Gaston is a guy who you could see, and they as big as he is, they want to see him control his weight. They want to make sure that he's healthy and all of that. But to get a young guy on the field playing guard is somewhere that could really help you. Where when you talk about in the trenches being able to lean on you, Juan Gaston leaning on you at guard is a lot to deal with, literally and figuratively. So I did hear some good things about what Gaston was able to do at guard of all places. Still got Dontrell Glover that'll be here later in the year. That's my sleeper pick. Dontrell Glover from Langston Hughes, somebody who wasn't the most heralded recruit. But when you just talk about a football player, reminds me of that Bo Walker pedigree where hey, damn what the rankings say. This guy's a ball player, and the people at Georgia are excited about him as well. So yeah, you think about what they're going to be able to do when you have the full cachet of your offensive line, but somebody has to step up and take over on the line and say, run behind me. I'm the guy. We need a first down. And I'm not sure you have that classic dominant Georgia offensive line right now. As this line continues to get better and the experiences continues to come along, you'll see, right now, you look up and down the line, like Monroe Freeland will be back. But when you look up and down the offensive line, Daniel Calhoun, who started to come on strong, is another huge guy, right, that's going to play guard. So I think when you get the full cachet of the line, you'll get a little bit better. But nobody had, like Ernest Green is your experienced guy. You can't forget about Michael Morris, played a lot. So you got a lot of pieces, a lot of guys who could probably start at other places that I know could start at other places. And the fact that Georgia still have a G-Day, I think is dope because so many coaches are like wanting to hide the depth that they have. But people know what Georgia has. They could probably these are guys that can start at other schools. But the complement of them together isn't the same classic line them up, knock them down Georgia offensive line. But as I had Josh Payton on last week, he said just because we don't know these guys and they're not household names now, wait till the season, wait till they become guys, wait till you see them year 3 in the system at Georgia. So I think offensive line wise, going forward, you'll see them start to play off each other more. But right now, I think if you had to say who the O-line was, I'd probably go probably Bo, Hughley at left, either Bo or Niger, probably. Then Michael Moore's been getting a lot of guard reps. Drew Bobo, Ernest Green. See, Ernest Green has played some guard as well. So you can do it one of two ways. You could play Ernest Green at tackle, and then that shifts. And so you put Ernest Green at left, move Bo to right, or you could just start or based on Daniel Calhoun, right? But in the spring game, I think that you'll have either Niger or Bo at left. They've been rotating, and so I would say Niger or Bo at left. Michael Morris, Drew Bobo, Ernest Green, Mike U at that right guard, and Ernest Green at the tackle. Or if Nigel Daniel does really well, you can see them move Bo Hughley to right tackle and then move Ernest Green back to that right guard. So it's going to be interesting to see how these next 6-7 practices go and who does what. Defensively, I think linebacker group, it doesn't get any better in the nation. When you talk about C.J. Allen, Raylan Wilson, Chris Cole, who some people think will end up being the best out of all of these guys, and that's no disrespect to any of the other guys. It's just saying how good Chris Cole is. And then Justin Williams is ready. You know, they're saying that he's taking strides. So you got 4 linebackers athletically. All of them can run. C.J. Allen is the granddad. You know, he's the elder statesman who's played the most. And when you look at the athleticism behind him, that's a room that you don't worry about at all. But after that, injuries up front. You don't have that classic, that edge guy. You got Q from Mays High School, my man Quentin Johnson, right? Quintavious Johnson, excuse me. You got Q, who people like. He's well liked in the locker room. Georgia likes him, but hasn't taken that next step. And when you're used to having guys coming off that edge, like a Nolan Smith, I think Kirby Smart even mentioned it. When you're used to having those type guys coming off the edge, he's just not there yet. Even Chaz Chambliss, Kirby spoke highly of. So you're going to have to get some guys who are ready there in a heartbeat. You hope Isaiah Gibson can grow up fast, but that's what it's going to take. They moved Chris Jones from inside backer to that position, so they'll make it work. But you just don't have that dominant force there yet. And so they're going to look. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see Georgia make an addition in the spring portal if that type of player becomes available. Damon Wilson would have been that guy. I think that was one that kind of hurt a little bit. It was going to be his show at the position. I think there was just not even just about the money. I just think there was a difference in opinion from talking to Senior about it. So about how he should be deployed. So that's one where the transfer portal really hurt you when you look at Missouri's got 2 of the edge players from Georgia right now, and Darius Smith, guys who would have bided their time, and it would have been their time now. So just part of it. When you're UGA and you recruit the way that you do, you're going to lose guys. But then you think about defensive line, you probably roll out there with Christian Miller. Happy to get him back. Zay McLeod at the nose. And Jordan Hall is another big piece. I think where Big Jonah has been hurt, but he was somebody that impressed everybody. So I think when it comes to the season, you'll be better along that line. You just got to you'll have enough at the line. You just need that edge rusher. So I think you can see them make additions on both sides. I think and the only other part of the defense that you really got to talk about is the secondary. At corner, I think you got to go Daniel Harris, and I think people in the industry would agree on that right. But on the other side, I think so. The most talented guy, well, it's hard to say, but you got to go Ellis Robinson, probably having the most tools, and DeMelo. And excuse me, I spoke wrong. Not Daniel Harris is in that rotation. Dalen Everett is probably the guy who has the corner job locked up. But for that other job, you want to see a Ellis Robinson kind of take that next step. It is just a consistency thing. From what I'm hearing, one day he looks like the best corner ever at Georgia, and another day you see him take a step back. So I think with any of these younger corners, you want to see that consistency. DeMelo Jones is somebody who's been having a decent spring. where you see all the tools that he's been given. So you think I think you're good there. You just want to find your guy. And I think the most important other part is going to be KJ Bolden has his safety job locked up. Who is going to be the other the other safety? I mean, is it Zion Branch, who people say have been playing well? You got Adrian Maddox, who everybody wanted. Like, he was a surprise kind of guy, but a lot of people really believed how well he could play. You got Jaden Harris, and then you got Todd Robinson, the safety, who came out. I think Todd Robinson was from Cali, if I ain't mistaken, 4-star guy. What was that? Let me see what Todd. Oh, it was Todd Robinson, the guy from Valdosta, I believe. I think he played a little quarterback. Now I had my lines crossed, but yeah, Todd Robinson. I think Todd Robinson, if he had opportunity to play just off athleticism alone, you ain't gonna be sorry. You wouldn't be regret playing him. But right now, I think if I were to bet, I got a sneaky suspicion that Zion Branch is gonna play a lot more than a lot of people think he will. And then you got Jonell at the star. So right now, where Georgia sits, going through the position by position breakdown of what's going on in the spring, I think you got a SEC contender, but I don't think you have right now. When I talk to other schools in the conference, it's not big bad Georgia the way it used to be, and I think that's good for Georgia. I think that Georgia understanding the standard, right? And you heard Coach Smart early in the spring talk about the standard not changing. Guys have to play in the big bad Georgia, and I think that's good because previous years you knew that the guy in front of you was a first round pick, and I could just chill until it's my time. Well, now these young guys got to play with the transfer portal, so they have to earn the big bad Georgia reputation, and I think that's good. And I think they got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. These guys talk. They know who people are saying is the team and who should win the SEC and who should be a national title contender. And Georgia will always be around based off the brand they built, but people don't believe in it like they used to. And I think if you're a UGA, if you're a player on that team, you got to take that personally. Because when you think nobody has a roster that is just flat out more talented than Georgia, it's the experience and where you have the experience at. So when it comes down to Georgia, right now, if people are sleeping on Georgia, good. I would be absolutely ecstatic if I'm a coach for Georgia and people are sleeping on you. And you got to take all of those clips where they ask, is Georgia on a decline? And have we seen the best days from Georgia? And can Coach Smart do it again? Was that the last championship that we'll see? You got to cut those articles up, put them on the bulletin board, and all these 4 and 5 stars have to realize that it's been a while. And they have to work and fight for the respect that they were given previously because of what came before them. Well, Jalen Carter ain't walking back through that door. He's in the league. Jordan Davis is in the league. Nakobe Dean is in the league. So now who's going to be next? Who's that next guy to take you to the next level? And everybody in that locker room should be looking at each other trying to figure out, how can I be the next guy? And I think as long as they take that approach, Georgia's going to be just fine and just as dangerous as they've always been. So that's my time, folks. Make sure you hit me, Instagram and Twitter at DukeTheScoop. And if you want to see more Georgia content, drop it in the comments. Let me know what you want to talk about. It just doesn't have to be about inside information because, hell, at Georgia, it ain't a whole lot you can hide at Georgia. Shout out to everybody who works the Georgia beat, from Ben Wolt to Jake Rowe, to Rusty Mansell, to Jeff Centel. Everybody has a plug. So it's not like a whole lot of intel, insider stuff, maybe with the recruiting. But outside of that, everybody talks. But this is what I will say. If you guys want to have some positive discourse or negative, you just want to talk about it, hit me and drop me some in the comments, drop some suggestions, and we'll talk about it. All right, man, that's my time. I appreciate y'all for sure.